Hi, this is a tutorial about the simple lighting possibilities we have in MeshLab. So if we load the usual sample model, so we know that we can navigate it in several ways, and we also know that there is a kind of lighting that gives us an idea about the shape of the object. At any time, if we want to, we just need to click on this button to switch off the light. So if you switch off the light, you just see the very flat model. So here you're seeing only the color per vertex, which is encoded in the geometry, but you have no effect by the lighting. So if we switch on the light again, there is an easy way to change the direction of the light. The lighting in MeshLab is extremely simple because this is essentially a mesh processing tool, so there is no real way to set up a scene like setting several lights and changing the light. But anyway, there are some ways to change the lighting that can be very useful, and the most basic one can be obtained by pressing Ctrl Shift and dragging, and you see here that you can change the direction of the light, which is illuminating the model. So you see that you have these yellow lines which define the direction of the light, so you can try to obtain nice lighting effects, trying for example to stress some of the details of the geometry using the light. So this is the really basic lighting in MeshLab. There is not a lot more than this, but if you go in render lighting, for example, you can put on the double side lighting. Double side lighting just uses two lights coming from the two directions, and so you have a slightly different lighting condition. So for example, using this lighting you can have this scary Laurana. Okay, so this is a bit different. Sometimes it's useful to have these two side lighting. Okay. And the last thing is the so-called fancy lighting. In the fancy lighting, you can set up a bit different lighting condition by, for example, defining two different colors of the light coming, for example, in this case, one from the right, one from the left side. So I can switch back to double side lighting, and if you go in Tools Options, you have the possibility to change the color of the two lights of the fancy light. So for example, I can choose the first one as being yellow, and on the other side I want greenish light. Here you have this fancy lighting. Sometimes can be useful to have this particular lighting to have some particular effects on the model. So you see now that we have a double side lighting, which is a fancy lighting, so with particular lights. If you want, you can also change the color of the basic light and the color of the on the way the light is reflected on the model, because you see here that you can change light ambient color, light diffuse color, and light specular color. So for example, I can get particular effects by changing the base light diffuse color. Now my lighting is bringing this orange contribution to the visualization of the model. Okay. So even though the lighting is really very simple in MeshLab, you can already do some nice stuff. Really, at any time you can reset to the original value of all the colors. So even with this very simple functionalities, you can get quite nice results. Thank you.